What up, what up, what up? It's a popular topic that's been going on. AUs are dead. Authorized user trade lines are dead. No longer the wave. We're not doing that no more. Not doing it no more. Have too many people coming in, right? Just last week, I had 5 people hit me up. Jamal, ready for business funding. Okay, cool. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at what you got. Had a 756. Fantastic. 5 authorized users. Another person had 7 authorized users. And I said, okay, have you tried to get funded? And he said, yeah, but everybody keep denying me, man. I don't know what's going on. Said, it's probably because you have too many authorized users. In fact, your entire profile is only authorized users. The banks can look through that now, right? So I'm explaining to them that the banks can see through you just having a bunch of authorized users. That used to work back in the day, but now, especially post-pandemic, they can look through that. If you look on your credit report right now, you can go to My FICO, you can go to My Score IQ, Smart Credit, Identity IQ, whatever you want. Even on those, it'll say individual, right? When you go to account type, it'll say individual, it'll say joint, or it'll just outright say authorized user on that account when you look at your own credit report. So now the banks, they can literally press a button, delete all the authorized users out of their system, and only base your application on the accounts that are in your name. So what happens now is you just spent, $2,000-$3,000. You think you up, you got $50,000-$60,000 in AUs on your credit report, but it's no good. You still can't get funded, and you're frustrated trying to figure out why is it. You still need accounts in your name on your credit report. We can't work around it. Especially now, the banks are automatically, if you don't have enough accounts on your credit report, they're just going to deny you for lack of credit history. That's literally the reason for denial. Not enough credit history, not a long enough history or history of credit established, right? They're going to put it right there on your denial letter. So we still have to make sure we build up our credit, not just with AUs, but with primaries. For anyone that's not familiar, a primary is simply an account in your name that you are responsible for. It's not a joint account. It's not an authorized user account. It's your account with your name. It's reporting to your credit. You're making the monthly payments every single month, right? When we're talking about going for funding, you need to have at least 5 of these, at least 5 primary accounts reporting to your credit. This is baseline, the absolute minimum, right? But let's think about it. We want to break out of the habit of trying to do the minimum and expect the maximum. We see it online, 50,000, 150,000. People approach me, hey, I'm looking for 100,000. I'm looking for 150,000. Okay, cool. How much available credit do you currently have? Oh, I don't have any credit. What? Well, we got to build up your personal credit before we can even think about the business credit. Or if you're looking for $150,000, you want to at least have $50,000 to $60,000 of available credit showing on your personal credit report. Right? So it's a lot of different things that go into this, but what I want to do is break it down. This is why just having a bunch of authorized users isn't going to be enough. You need to be building up your credit, but not just building it up, making sure you're building it up the right way. So you need to have bare minimum 5 primary accounts that are in your name that report under your name to the credit bureaus. All three of the credit bureaus, all three of them need to show at minimum 5 accounts under your name with at least two of those accounts having at least a $5,000 credit limit. This is minimum, right? This is bare minimum. This is like, Jamal, I only want $50,000 in business funding. Okay, cool. This is the bare minimum. Don't expect to get $100,000, $250,000 with this, right? So on top, so that's one thing, right? Now you can do this very easily. You can get credit builder accounts, you can get pledge loans, you can get secured credit cards. There's a lot of credit building accounts that you can get. One of them is like Credit Strong, right? They have a $30,000 primary account that you can get. It's $350 a month. That's about $4,200 a year. That is going to cost you to keep this $30,000 trade line on your credit report. You can also get other credit building accounts like Kickoff, things like that. But here's the thing with Kickoff. Kickoff is only going to give you like a $500 or $1,500 credit limit. $500, $1,500 credit limit, right? You can always bypass that. You don't have to get Kickoff. You can go straight for secured cards. You can go secured cards and secured loans, like the Navy Federal Pledge Loan, the Andrews Federal Pledge Loan, the DCU Pledge Loan, right? A lot of credit unions offer pledge loans. Navy Federal is not the only one. Don't limit yourself to what you hear on the internet, right? So boom, you can do that. So now you got Credit Strong with 30,000. You got some pledge loans. You got a secure credit card. The only thing about the pledge loan and a secure card is that you got to have the money. So if you're listening to this, you're like, all right, bet I need at least $2,000 revolving lines of credit showing up. I need at least two $5,000 revolving trade lines on my credit report. That's 10 bands. That means you're going to have to invest $10,000 into a pledge loan or into some secured credit cards. Okay. Only thing is, now this is great, but what happens is that you're still not ready for funding. You're still not ready for funding. Why? Because those accounts have to age. Just because you have the 5 accounts doesn't mean you're ready. Those accounts still have to age on your report. When you're going for business funding, you want to have at least 5 years of credit history. At least 5 years of credit history. Right? Now you're like, okay, I'll just throw on a couple of AUs to build up my credit. Remember, they can see past that now. They can remove all of the AUs off of your credit report and just see that you got a bunch of new accounts that are only 3 months old. That can still cause you to get denied. Right? That can still cause you to get denied. So what can we do? This is where connecting and actually purchasing primary trade lines, right? This is where you can actually connect with someone who can actually put on primary trade lines that show up $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 trade lines with age. So now I have a perfect credit score. Credit is a scam. If you don't know how to use it, it can be a scam for sure. For sure. And people scam using credit every day. Every day they be doing that scam stuff. If I don't do nothing with no CPNs. If you're looking for somebody with CPNs, I don't know nothing about it. I don't do nothing with CPNs. I don't do nothing with swiping people's credit cards, stealing data, none of that stuff. Like I don't do none of that, right? Because this is what happens. Other people's identity. And here's the crazy thing about folks that's selling CPNs. A lot of people that's selling you these CPNs, they don't even know how credit works. They don't know how credit works. They're giving you a blank 9-digit number. You can't even use it to do anything. The CPN isn't tri-merged. What does that mean? It means that this number, this mythical number, isn't even showing up when you need professional experience, right? You can't even get a Credit Karma account with the CPN. Why? Because the people who gave it to you, they just gave you the number. It's a blank, empty file. There's nothing on it. You still can't use it. It doesn't qualify you for anything. And if you don't know how to build up your credit, you still stuck like Chuck. The CPN still ain't solving your problem. If you don't know how to build credit the exact way I'm telling you how to build it, you're still screwed. It still ain't gonna work for you. I had multiple people approach me about getting funding, and they're like, yeah, man, I just paid somebody $400 for a CPN, but I don't got nothing on it. I don't know how to use it. I said, oh, okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I can't help you because I don't work with CPNs. I don't work with CPNs. I can't do nothing for you. Right? We be looking for these shortcuts. And especially for my business owners, right? My business owners, my entrepreneurs. Please, if you know you're building a business and you're literally trying to build generational wealth, by the way, a generation lasts for 25 years. Why are you out here looking for a 6-month fix? Like, somebody tell me in the comments, if you're a business owner and you're looking for funding, and you know, business owners, our credit go through cycles. Your credit is good, then your credit is bad, your credit is good, your credit is bad. Why are you looking for a 6-month solution when you're trying to build something for a generation? Why aren't you trying to build it correctly? Why aren't you trying to build it in such a way that that this funding, that this credit is going to be with you for a lifetime? AUs are great. Those starter accounts are great. They're all just a tool to help you build up your credit, right? Just like if you're building a house, right? Or remodeling a house. For my real estate investors, the tools that you use to demolition the house are not going to be the same tools, generally speaking, that you use to rebuild it. Generally speaking, right? Not only that, you can't do demo and the remodel simultaneously. You take a couple of days to do the demo. Once demo is done and everything's gone, then you can start rebuilding. It takes time, and that's okay. It's okay if it takes time. So going back to building with the primaries, have at least 5 of them. Have at least 5 primaries. 2 of those should have at least a $5,000 credit limit. The higher your credit limits, the better. Why? When you're going for business funding, a bank can give you anywhere from, let's say, 3 to 5x your current limits on the personal side. 3 to 5x. So what does that mean? If you only have $5,000 credit limits, that means you essentially qualify for $15,000 to $25,000 credit lines on the business side. I'm breaking it all the way down so there's no confusion. There's a lot of misinformation. A lot of folks be confused about this stuff. They don't understand how the numbers work. Like, Jamal, I got 5 trade lines. You know, I got age, but all your trade lines are $1,000, $3,000. That's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. Not if you're trying to do 50,000. Not if you're you're trying to do 100 or 6 figures in funding, right? When I got over $200,000 in funding, I already had 7 accounts on my credit report. All 7 of those accounts all were over $5,000, right? So then every time I got a new approval, even on the personal side, it'd be 8, 9, 10, 16,000. That's because I already had that strong foundation. So when I went over to the business side, it wasn't weird to get a $20,000, $30,000 credit card. It wasn't weird, right? So let's go back. So what happens is when you're building out your primaries, these are the things that you run into. One, you're not going to have enough history, because when you go for a pledge loan, when you go for a secured credit card, yes, you're building a relationship with the bank. You absolutely want to keep building your relationship with the bank. Do that. Do that. Continue to do that. Don't skip that part. But you're dropping the age of your credit report every time you open up a new account. And then you have to wait for all of those accounts to age at least 6 to 12 months for the banks to really start taking you seriously, right? That's one issue, is that it's dropping your age. The other issue is that you'll need to have the money on deck so that you can have a high limit pledge loan. You'll need to have access to capital so that you can get a $10,000 pledge loan, a $20,000 pledge loan, right? A $25,000 secured credit card. You have to give the bank $25,000 in order to receive the $25,000 trade line. These are the common issues that we always running into, right? So what I've done is I work with some partners and lenders to where, well, some partners to where we actually have primaries that have high limits and come with age that you can install onto your credit report, right? We don't do anything fraudulent. We don't work with CPNs. Identity must be verifiable. We don't work with no CPNs. We checking IDs. We making sure you really you, right? Because we're not doing no fraudulent stuff, and we don't work with nobody that's doing fraud. So if you thinking you about to bust a move and use somebody else's photo ID or credit card to get one of these primary trade lines, that's not how it's going down. This is for my real business owners. It's for people that really want to make a difference in what they got going on. You know that you already know this is something you're looking for. You already know this is something you need. So what we've done is we put it together to where you can get revolving trade lines. These are either credit cards or line of credit that come with a minimum of 2 years of history, right? It can be any, right? Trade line, a $20,000 trade line or a $30,000 trade line. Each trade line has a minimum of 2 years of history. You can get multiple trade lines. You can get all three. You can get the 10, the 20, and the $30,000 trade line. Each one will come with at least 2 years. One of our clients recently, we were able to install a trade line, a primary trade line. These show up in your name. That's why we don't do anything fraudulent. We don't do this for CPNs. We don't do this for any type of identity theft situation, right? We don't do none of that. We make sure it's for you and going on your credit report. We were able to install a $10,000 credit card trade line onto our client's report with 9 years of age. So now you can speed up the aging process. So now you're going to have a minimum of 5 years on now the client has a minimum of 5 years of history, plus he has the high limit credit credit account, right? So what is this going to do? One, now that he has a $10,000 trade line showing up on his credit report, it's going to boost his score, because one thing it's going to do is that it improves his credit history. The next thing that it's going to do is it's going to lower his credit card utilization, because the revolving account only shows a 2% usage. Third, it puts him into a better position to potentially qualify for funding, because now he's showing that he can handle a $10,000 credit limit or a $20,000 credit limit. Our revolving lines go from $10,000 up to $30,000 with a minimum 2-year history. Minimum. It can be as low as 2 years, as high as 10 years. This is how you start properly building out your credit report. This is how you can continue to get funding and be fundable while building out your accounts with your banks. This is how we do it, right? We also have auto primaries. Auto primaries, we have these between $30,000 all the way up to $90,000. They also come with a minimum of 2-year history, right? They're going to be report open and active on your credit report, and then they close out. Right? And here's the thing with these. Again, we don't want to keep trying to be the minimum. You already know you need 5 accounts. The more accounts you have on your credit report, the better. To get an 800, a real 800 credit score, not a Credit Karma 800 credit score, but a FICO credit score of 800, you need to have at least 10 accounts reporting on your credit. At least 10. Right? Imagine, and this is why it's important to have multiple kinds of auto loans. Imagine you want to go, you see these people pull up in these Lamborghinis. Not, guess what? Let's say you decide you want to do the minimum. Oh, I'm going to go in there. You know, I got a couple of AUs. I got a couple of primaries, right? I want the $350,000 Lambo or Ferrari or Porsche. Take your pick. I want that one. It's $350,000. I got good credit. Cool. They're going to run your report and see you only have a $40,000 auto loan. That's the only auto loan they see. They are not giving you a $350,000 Ferrari, Porsche, Lambo, and the only thing on your credit report is a $40,000 auto loan. You have to, what the kids say, match energy. You got to be able to match the energy of what you're striving for, right? You want a $350,000 auto loan, you need to have big boy auto loans on your credit report. You want $150,000 zero interest funding, you need to have big boy revolving lines of credit showing on your credit report with age, right? So this is why AUs just don't cut it anymore. AUs just ain't gonna be enough. You can get some, but you're not gonna be able to go for funding. You can start building your credit with primary accounts. You can open up your secure cards. You can open up your pledge loans. You can get your Credit Strong account. Get all that. Start building it. But you're not going to be ready for funding. That's where being able to get access to primaries that have $10,000 or more credit limits and have at minimum of 2 years of age is going to come in, because now it does help you speed up the process, but you still have to do the work. You still have to make sure you're still continuously building. It is not a silver bullet, right? It's just one tool in the tool belt to get the job done, right? When you're building a house, You just don't build a house with one tool. It takes a plethora of tools and a plethora of strategies in order to get this house finished, right? Hundreds of man hours, dozens of materials. The same thing with your credit. It's not just an AU. It's not just a credit strong account. You need more, especially for my business owners and entrepreneurs. If you're looking to secure over $100,000 in funding, the banks want to see that you can manage the credit before they give you more credit. They're going to want to see that you already have a $10,000 credit card. They're going to want to see that you already have a $20,000 credit card if you're trying to go for $200,000 of credit. Right? So look, just went through that. If you're actually interested, you want to take action, you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, you're looking to get funding, but your credit profile isn't strong enough, you don't have the age or you don't have the credit limits, reach out to me. My email and contact information is in the description of this video. It's also in the description of my channel. You can send me an email, or you can the best thing would be is to send me an email. I would say call me, but I definitely don't answer the phone on Sundays. Absolutely not. We're closed. But shoot me an email at info@leveledupcreditservices.com, or hit me up on Instagram. It's the same name, The Credit Protector, and shoot me a DM that says primary, and I know that you saw this video, and I'll actually send you the price list for all of our primary trade lines. All right, y'all, have an absolutely great Sunday. I'll talk to y'all later. God bless. Peace.